protesters have taken to the streets in Iran. The demonstrations are focused on the economy, with some Iranians shouting, "Death to the dictator."
President Trump says the United States will intervene to protect the protesters if necessary. Julie Stahl brings us the story.
Authorities in Iran say a member of their paramilitary force has been killed as clashes between police and demonstrators escalate.
Today, we're breaking down one of the biggest and most serious pieces of world news coming out of the United States and the Middle East. On January 2, 2026, US President Donald Trump issued a very strong warning to the government of Iran, saying that if Iranian security forces start violently killing peaceful protesters, the United States would step in to help them and protect them. He said America was locked and loaded and ready to go, meaning the US was prepared to act. This message has sparked huge international reaction and raised concerns about rising tensions between the US and Iran. Let's explain exactly what this warning means, what led to it, why it matters, and how both sides are responding in a way that's easy to understand. The story begins with large protests across Iran. People in many cities have taken to the streets, not just over everyday issues, but because of a deep economic crisis. The Iranian currency, the rial, has plunged in value, prices for basic goods have soared, and many families are struggling. These protests are some of the largest in Iran in years, and at times they have turned into confrontations with government security forces. Amid these protests, reports emerged that several protesters were killed during clashes with security forces. The unrest spread from Tehran, the capital, to cities like Isfahan and Lorestan province, where people chanted against government policies and the political system itself. In this context, President Trump took to his social media platform and made a striking statement. He said that if Iran's government shoots and violently kills peaceful protesters, which is their custom, then the United States of America will come to their rescue. He also said that the US was locked and loaded and ready to go, showing he was prepared to take action. That phrase, locked and loaded, is typically used to describe being fully prepared for military action. So Trump's warning was not just political talk. It suggested that the US might consider direct intervention if violence against civilians escalates. Now let's look at why Trump would say this. First, the United States has long been critical of Iran's government, both for its human rights record and for its role in supporting armed groups in the Middle East. By warning Iran not to harm peaceful protesters, Trump and other US officials are trying to show support for human rights and pressure Tehran. The US State Department has described the protests as an expression of understandable anger at the government's failures. However, this warning has not gone unanswered. Iranian leaders strongly criticized Trump's message, saying it was foreign interference in their internal affairs. One senior Iranian official said that if the United States tries to meddle in Iran's domestic issues, it would cause chaos across the entire region and harm US interests. Their leaders even warned that any forceful foreign involvement would be met with a forceful response. This exchange of threats has raised serious concerns among world leaders and experts. Some worry that it could increase tensions in an already fragile Middle East, where US-Iran relations have been troubled for decades. The region has seen past conflicts, including US strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities and Iran's own missile attacks on US forces in the area. It's important to understand that Trump's warning does not yet mean American troops are moving into Iran. At this stage, it is a political signal, a warning meant to pressure Iran and show support to protesters. What comes next depends on how events unfold on the ground and how Iran's leaders respond. Let's break down the key points one more time. First, Iran is facing major protests because of economic hardship. Second, Trump warned Iran not to violently harm protesters, saying the US might intervene. Third, Iran's government rejected that warning and said foreign interference would have serious consequences. And finally, the world is watching closely because this could affect international peace and stability. This situation is evolving quickly, with both sides trading strong messages. How it develops could have a big impact not just for Iran and the United States, but for the security of the entire Middle East. That's the full story behind President Trump's warning to Iran about peaceful protesters, explained in clear, simple terms. This news is important because it touches on human rights, international politics, and the possibility of wider conflict. If you found this explanation helpful and want more simple news breakdowns, hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for updates as this story continues to unfold. Thanks for watching.